Sometimes we try to help people, but they're not ready to be helped. It happened to me like kind of a long time ago that I was passing by and having a flight connection in one country, and there were a group of friends because I used to live there, and we came out for dinner. And one of the girls was like really showing that she was very stressed out, really anxious, and she shared with us that she wasn't really doing great in her marriage, and she was concerned, and she wasn't happy about some aspects, and some aspects is related to the husband itself, and also she wasn't really happy with work for like many years already. She's just like doing the bare minimum, but not knowing where to move, what to do. So she was really not in her best place, and she was even considering starting taking anxiety pills. And of course, for someone to be willing to start taking meds to change their thoughts and emotions is something very serious. And because it was a casual dinner and we were like just with some friends, and even though she shared some aspects, she said she bought a training, a course, and she was hoping that training would help her to identify some emotional problems, and by fixing her problems, then maybe her marriage and her work environment would improve, which I found really helpful. Is a very proactive, good way of thinking, right? And then I shared with her because it had already been a few years that I was doing what I do with therapy. I had been trained in specific techniques that really changed my life and was doing great work for my clients. So I thought I should just share with her that the techniques I work with. But we didn't go too deep into that because we want to keep it a little light and casual. But when I was leaving the country, I texted her and I said that was really nice seeing her again, and I was concerned because I saw she was really distressed. She was really not happy, very anxious. And there are processes and techniques that are already being created to help us in situations like that. And that if she didn't feel comfortable with me, now she speaks English, so I could refer her to a colleague. Or if she would prefer to speak in her native language, like I'm Brazilian, so I speak Portuguese, that I would be like totally open and very honored to support her in this process. And, she got really mad. She became really hostile. And she said, okay, thanks, but if I need her, let you know. And she never spoke to me again. Sometimes you try to help, you give people tools, you give them options, but sometimes they just want attention, or they just want to continue to behave and feel and think the way they have. And also there is something called secondary gain, which is when unconsciously we decide to keep a thought pattern, belief, or even a kind of a health issue because we consider that we're getting some benefit out of it. It might be attention, it might be love, it might be safety, it might be because it is just familiar, but unconsciously we're keeping something very debilitating and harmful, and that's not causing us or bringing us any well-being, just because we consider that is the best way to do. So for the person to be open to let go of this thing that is apparently bringing some safety, it does require some honesty and some maturity, to look into that. So whatever it is, just don't waste too much time trying to help somebody who's not ready yet to be helped. You can love them, you can bless them, you can wish them well from far, because you don't want to be sucked up in somebody's negativity that is always complaining, is always tired, is always seeing the worst of every situation, is being complaining for this 2, 3, 5 years about the same things, the same relationship of the same person, the same work, because this is a pattern, even though the person changed the relationship, the work, the city, the country, I know by direct experience he's still gonna feel the same way, because that's coming from the inside. You're carrying with you the seeds of conflict, the seeds of unhappiness, the seeds of judgment, the seeds of not being seen, appreciated. So you don't have to save anybody. You have to save yourself. Save yourself, and you're doing a great favor for yourself, for the world, because if you heal your thought patterns, your insecurities, your fears, you become like really chilled, you become really peaceful, your life improves like substantially. You're gonna be able to support others, even if it's just with your time, with your energy, with your smile, not getting into conflict. When you're driving home, you singing and not like being mad at everybody that's driving around you. Really, just look after yourself, heal yourself, treat yourself well, develop self-love, and really just save yourself, because some people, they unfortunately they need more suffering. And I say that from love, because I also went through that in my early days.